kids are so old school and overrated, so if you're thinking of adding a furry friend to your family, here's a reality check from a vet that sees hundreds of different pet owners every single month. The reality is, owning a pet can cost you tens of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. But don't worry, I'm here to help you plan for those expenses like a pro. Hello everyone, and welcome to Zoomies. Pets bring us immeasurable joy. Those, wagging tails, purring snuggles, and even the occasional shoe destruction. But I think let's face it, they're also a major financial responsibility and sometimes actually a financial burden. In the USA, Americans spent a jaw-dropping $137 billion on pets and pet-related bills in 2023 alone. So when I heard this fact, I decided that I'm here today to break down the real costs of pet ownership and how smart financial planning can make it all a little bit easier and manageable. All the information and numbers that we will discuss in this video are really approximates, and it could actually vary greatly, depending on where you live, what type and the amount of animals that you have, and even individual variance in veterinary costs. Before we can actually talk about our plan, let's talk the actual numbers first so that we can have an idea of what to expect. Here's what you might be spending. Within their first year of life, a cat will probably set you back around $1,174, while a dog will cost you just under $1,400 according to the ASPCA. This only includes food, vaccinations, and toys. No unforeseen costs or damages were included here. These costs will then become annual reoccurring costs and will be anywhere around $600 for cats and about $700 for dogs, covering essentially food, treats, and routine care. And when it comes to veterinary care, routine visits cost an average about $200 to $400 for dogs and anywhere from $100 to $200 for cats. The big catch though is emergency visits, and depending on the severity and frequency of it happening, and the location that you stay in, this could easily be $1,000 or way more. Then we get to pet insurance, which I feel in today's day and age is an absolute must for pet parents. Even if it is just an entry-level package or emergency care only, you may have about a monthly premium of about $30 to $50 for dogs and about $15 to $30 for cats. The great aspect about pet insurance is that the more people actually use it and get it for their pets, the cheaper the premiums may actually become, and the better and more comprehensive the overall cover will become. Now extras, which sometimes may be essential and can be an expense as early as 3 months of age, including, grooming, training, boarding facilities, these could easily add up to $500 or more per year, depending on your pet's individual needs. Now, taking these numbers into account, for your new pet's first 2 years of life, not including any emergencies or unforeseen vet bills, you're looking at approximately $3,000 to $4,000 for a dog, also depending on their size and breed, and approximately $2,500 to $3,500 for a cat. So here's how we're going to reduce your burden, minimize damage, and plan correctly for our new pet. Step 1 is creating a pet budget. I want you to plan for regular expenses. This will obviously depend heavily on how much money you have specifically available each month. But for dogs, I'll advise that you set aside at least $75 to $200 per month. For cats, about half that, about $50 to $150. And don't forget to build an emergency pet fund. This should be around $500 to $1,000 for those unexpected vet visits. It could actually be even more than that, but remember, it's not money lost yet. If the funds become really excessive or large, the money can still be used for anything else, just don't deplete the funds completely. Step 2 is investing in pet insurance. Now, I've already mentioned how important and powerful pet insurance can be, and I also want you to understand that it might seem like an extra or unnecessary expense, but it can really save you thousands in the long run, or at least minimize the damage, to your pocket in those dire moments. Most policies actually cover accidents and illnesses and even certain preventative cares. I want you to shop around to see what companies are available to you and what's the best plan that suits your pet's needs as well as your own budget. Step 3 is prioritizing preventative care. There are so many pet health gurus these days and people online claiming to be pet health miracle workers, but a lot of these people disregard preventative care as poison for your pet or unnecessary health risks, while they're actually advocating pet parents to completely avoid certain medications. But the reality is that preventative care isn't just good for your pet, it's also good for your wallet. Things like regular checkups, parasite control, and vaccinations can prevent costly emergencies and even save a life. Think of this preventative care as an investment in your pet's long-term health and in your financial peace of mind. Now, this next one is a small one. It's explore cost-saving tips. Try to save money where you can and avoid additional expenditures. One piece of advice I always give out is don't buy treats off the shelves. They tend to be very calorie-rich and not very nutritious. Try maybe making your own with ingredients that you already have at home. Also, try to buy pet food and supplies in bulk that could easily save you anywhere from 10 to 20%. What I would suggest is measure out 1 to 2 weeks worth of your kibble or your food and store the excess kibble or food in its original packaging in the freezer for later use. And when on holiday, try swapping pet sitting duties with friends or family instead of paying for boarding. Or you can do what we do, is we share the responsibility. When we go away, our pets always stay with the same friends every time, and the same goes for them when they go away. When they leave, we keep their furry friends safe with us at our home. And another tip is check out vet schools or universities for discounted care. They often provide services at least 20 to 30% less than your regular clinics or hospitals. But remember, this isn't always an option for everyone, and not all schools are cheaper. The last major tip: plan for the long term. Your pet's needs will change as they age, and costs can increase easily 20 to 50% over many years. One thing you can do is factor pet care into your retirement plan and consider setting up a pet trust to ensure that they're cared for if something were to happen to you. If this is possible for you, or if you simply just cannot live without your pet in your life. Trust me, planning ahead is really worth it, especially when you're already in retirement and your finances are limited. Whenever we're talking money and budgeting for things, it always sucks. Financial planning isn't the most exciting part of pet ownership, but it's probably one of the most important aspects. With really little preparation, you can give your pet the best possible life without breaking the bank at all.